we're going to move on to the second hour here. We're going to get this artwork flash real quick before we bring in. There we go. I'm not going to hold you. The second hour, we'll be talking Chicago sports here in a minute, but we're also going to start
Here
off with
comes the bullshit.
Here comes the bullshit. But we're going to bring in one of the co-founders of this company. He is also co-host of 79th and Halas. My brother Flo. How's it going?
What's going on, niggas?
Another terrible day to be a Chicago sports fan. What can we say? We live.
What's so terrible about today? You all go with the Bulls or something?
No, I mean we
we're gonna get into that. Players only meetings after game one. What can we say about that?
Well, basketball is not a man's sport, and the Bulls suck. So that's how I deal with that.
And Joe's already hating on Wemby. It ain't even been 2 games yet. He's yelling.
The nigga does the slowest crossovers, and it's like, this nigga a Korean player. I'm like, I seen y'all cross a nigga half court on the fast break, bro. I'm not impressed.
You yelling about his rebounds too. He only, what do you have, 5 rebounds on game 1?
Somebody told me this is today's NBA and rebounds don't matter. I was like, it only doesn't matter until you get to the playoffs and you realize, damn, we need to get some more boards. And then the nigga who only giving you 4 boards at 720 can't do anything more than that. Like that, it becomes a problem when it's game time and real niggas got to be real niggas and real men got to be real men. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like the most elite big men in the league, the Giannis, the Jokic, the Embiid, them niggas all get 10 boards plus a game. Like it ain't nothing for Jokic to get 16. So you should be 7-6 and not getting at least 8. Give me 8.
But I think that the reason he didn't have any in game 1 was he was in foul trouble and he defends a lot on the perimeter. So like a lot of times he may not be in a position. So like
his
going forward, I think he definitely can give you that though. But like game 1, 5 fouls, he was cooked.
His whatchamacallit, willingness to defend. I love the fact that he is willing to defend and he doesn't just do I'm just gonna hang out and not play defense. Like I respect that. But no, that's not real men basketball. I see all Ortiz in the comments, and he was one of the niggas who was saying, "What happened to the sport I love?" That's just how I feel.
Yeah, Ola Ortiz, man, we was eating him last week on the show, but he's back watching us. But let's get into football, man. This is week 8 in the NFL. We're basically at the halfway mark of the season. Before we get into our top 5 must-watch games of the week, what's your thoughts on the season so far? Now we're basically halfway into this thing.
Ass. God, it's been a 3-pack of ass. It's not. We've seen some terrible quarterback play. We have seen some very, very mid offensive line play, and I'm not really sure what is the reason behind this. I had sent a tweet out saying what's going on with the quarterback play, and Duke. Duke has had me Twitter. I don't know. It was Duke Zamunda Duke. I don't know what his Twitter name is right now. But he was like, oh, we're going through a transition period where we're going from where the greats are retired. So, I think the last one of you probably have Aaron Rodgers. So, like, you're trying to see the young ones step up besides Mahomes. And that period it's going to be like that. It may be like that. But what I can say is the vast majority of quarterbacks, if not all of them, have been underwhelming. Pat has started to really, really heat up. But even his first 3 games, I was like, this sucks. So I'm not happy with what I've seen from the NFL, and it's not necessarily that the defense is getting better, so it's the reason why it's like that. I just think it's been some inept play calling. It's been some really a lack of diversifying your playbook and adapting, and that's annoying. But it's not like it hasn't happened before. I just think we're coming off of maybe 2 or 3 offensively explosive seasons. And now you're easing back into it. Like you do have a 70-20 game from Miami in Denver, which is great. But I'm seeing a lot of like 2002 ass scores, and that's kind of lame. But yeah, so far, mid.
Yeah, I actually agree. Go ahead. No, I was gonna say I agree with that. Like to me, it's like offensive coordinators this year. are way more in their head than they've been in past years. I do think that the way that we handle preseason needs to be changed. I think that these players need to actually play. I think there needs to be more of an emphasis on it, and maybe that'll help the first month from being like basically glorified preseason as it is. But it has been a lot of nasty football. It's been a lot of nasty football. Last night's Thursday night football game, I did not get an opportunity to watch, but going back and looking at the highlights, it just looked like the same old thing we've been seeing. Where it's like Josh Allen basically just going out there and playing street ball, damn near. It was really no execution or anything like that. And so like even when you name like the Chiefs, like at this point, I feel like we're just naming the Chiefs the best team in football just by default, just because of who they are and just because they won a championship last year. But it's very bad football right now, and I don't really know who's good. We know who's bad. We definitely know who's bad, but I don't really know 100% if there's any team right now who's really even standing out like that, man. Dante, go ahead with what you were saying.
Yeah, no, I was going to agree with the quarterback comment, and it's with the play callers as well. I feel like we haven't had another Kyle Shanahan. We've had a search for that guy. We've had a lot of people be anointed the next big thing, and then they get into these spots and they fail. Matt Nagy failed. Everybody attached to Aaron Rodgers has. Yeah, Kellen Moore looks extremely sus now. So we're still just the same way you say we're looking for these quarterbacks. It's like, well, that next great play caller, Eric Bieniemy, the jury's still out on him. We don't know what he's going to do. So it's just a matter of, like you said, those offenses adjusting and defenses adjusting. As I said last week when we talked about, cornerbacks being built different now and just defenses being able to adjust and sit around and do the things that they weren't able to do when it was just more of a shell shock reaction to these crazy offenses. So I think that the word transition is a very, very good word to use here because, like you said, we're still waiting for those quarterbacks to step up and to see who's going to be those guys. Because, like, when we really look at it, we had some guys that we watched for a minute really, really dominate the league.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. One is true. Yeah, we're literally leaving there. I mean, Tom Brady was just playing last year before?
Yeah, last year.
Which is just crazy. I was 10 when he was in the league, and he's gone. And I think the only person that's a vestige of his era or that era is Aaron Rodgers. But I do think what we're seeing right now is a renaissance in the cornerback position.
Yeah,
that we're seeing a renaissance in the cornerback position. We already had a linebacker renaissance. I think that started with Patrick Willis eons ago, and then you just started to see linebackers get faster, get stronger. The defensive line renaissance has been on for a minute. I mean, defensive linemen ran like a 4.4, something crazy. But the really big thing that we're seeing now is the cornerbacks. Because let's be honest, if you've played football before, you know that a cornerback in high school is somebody who couldn't make a receiver because they had no hands. But they end up becoming good at quarterback because they're still fast and they can still run the routes with the receivers. But now you're seeing cornerbacks be spotted early within this period of trying to find talent. And then from there, they're developing their closing the gap speed. They're developing how they can use their hands and making sure they're not being too handsy. I've seen so many passes where I'm like, it's not a flag? And the corner's not holding it all. The corner is just staying really toe for toe with the receiver and making some good moves. So I think we're seeing the cornerback renaissance. And with that happening, it is making it harder for quarterbacks to adjust to that because these corners are just really neck and neck. And it's really good. I think the only thing that sucks is Christian Gonzalez, who I thought was off to a really strong start, got injured and he's out. But there's so many names now within the cornerback position that are not just jump ball cornerbacks, because that's kind of what I think me and Scott grew up with. Jump ball cornerbacks, they're going to jump a route, and when they jump the route, they're going to go ahead and try to get that pick six. So I think that's the big thing that may be contributing to why offenses are kind of struggling to keep up. But that's just my opinion.
I agree with that, man. Let's get into the top 5 games to watch this week. Shout out to Mikey for the new segment idea. We're gonna start off with my sleeper game of the week. This was sneaky good game of the week. This was Ravens and Cardinals. Now, when I put this on here, I saw Kyler Murray had been practicing. He practiced 2-3 times this week, but now they're listing him as doubtful for this Sunday. But I still think this will be a sneaky good game because this could be a trap game for the Ravens. Ravens coming off such a big win last week over the Detroit Lions, blowing them out the water. And you go to Arizona, you might get caught up by Josh Dobbs and how that team's been playing as hard as they've been playing. So that's my sneaky good game of the year, and I do believe that game of the week, and I do believe that Kyler Murray is probably just being eased into it, and he'll probably be back next week. What do you guys think about this game?
Ravens by 14.
I'm probably going Ravens by 21.
Yeah.
Oh, both of y'all got blowouts.
I mean, what I've seen from the Cardinals is they play really hard in the first half. They get a nice drive, and then they kind of just fizzle out from there. Lamar Jackson looks like he's in his own again, so yeah, I'm not expecting a close game.
I think this might be fake close. I think it might be fake close. I'm still gonna go Ravens. But I think it's probably gonna be. I think it's gonna be like a 7-point game. I think it's gonna be a 7-point game because I have yet to see that consistency from Baltimore for me to just say that they're just gonna flat out beat their ass.
Black QB. I should have known.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. This number. My number 4 must-watch game is actually shockingly. I have Bears and Chargers. Now we're gonna get into this game in the second half of the hour. Look. This is why I think this is a must-watch game. Now, granted, there's a lot of ass games on the schedule this week. So I was really picking out the garbage this week. But why I think this is gonna be an actual competitive game is because the Chargers should be better than what they are. I think we say this every year. And I think just off the fact that they can't ever just take off, that this is a game that can be competitive. Now, granted, if there's any team that's the get-right game, it is the Chicago Bears. And we'll get into more of a full breakdown of that game later in this show. But I do think this game is going to be closer than a lot of people are going to expect it to be.
You said Kellen Moore. Get ready to call the game of your life, boy. Yeah. And I don't remember the Bears defense has been playing better on a more serious note. You know, the linebackers have been playing better. But, however, traveling out west, week 2.
We ain't got to give scores yet. We'll do that later in the hour. But
we ain't gonna do that. But no, this will not be a sneaky good anything, brother. This will not be a game worth watching. I think it's one of those games you're gonna be there, so you have no choice.
Yeah, I'll be there.
By halftime, I will be asleep. I guarantee that.
Yeah, you'll be on East Coast time. I definitely see why you would be asleep. Joe, we're gonna do like a more of a preview on it. But what's just your initial thoughts on this game?
They're gonna blow the Bears out. I don't think more than the fact that they're gonna blow the Bears out, and it's not gonna be particularly close.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I think it's gonna be bad.
And it's like you said, the Chargers are better than what their record says, which I hate the Justin Herbert slander. I'm like, it don't matter how good you are of a quarterback. Remember, this thing came in the lead throwing 30 touchdowns. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a rookie been on fire like that as a quarterback in a long time. Pat Mahomes didn't play his rookie year. Aaron Rodgers sat for like 20 years. I've never seen a rookie as good as him when he was playing quarterback. That being said, I truly think that they are a better offensive team when they're just playing, kind of street ball, and they're just playing, play football. I was talking to my homie Steve, who's been on Second at the Halas thousands of times, but he was saying, man, what the NFL needs is just dudes who play football, and that sounds like insane when you think about it. Statement. But it's such a football nigga statement because there are a lot of athletes in the NFL, but there ain't many football players. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, this may be a situation where you had to have played football to understand the language I'm using, but you gotta be a football guy. You gotta just know when the rock's in my hand, it's time to go to work. And I don't think there's many of that left in the league, but I do think Justin Herbert is just one of those it's time to play football guys. And I think when he gets in that mode, he's unstoppable, and they're gonna nuke the Bears. So unless Tyler Badgett turns out to be Brock Purdy too, which I doubt.
Which we'll talk about that in about 15 minutes.
Tyson, whatever his name is, Tyson Tyler.
Tyson Badgett.
Tyson.
A Badgett of change, as this Chicago Bagent, whatever you pronounce that nigga name. Anyway, the next game I got on the top 5.
Guzzling him at that press conference, brother. Gonna be some nasty work. Gonna be ashamed.
It's
gonna sit there like.
So there were Rams at Cowboys. Now, like I said, there's a lot of slim pickings on this list this week. There's a lot of nasty
games
this weekend. But this one to me is interesting because the Rams have been competitive in every game that they've had this year. I think that Matthew Stafford is kind of going back into Detroit mode. Basically, I'm being surrounded by shit, and I'm just going to go out here and put points up with Cooper Kupp and Samoan Cooper Kupp. And by the way, I don't know if Puka Nacua is actually Samoan, but I'm just going to call him Samoan Cooper Kupp. So I feel like they'll be able to put up some points. And Dallas is too inconsistent. So I feel like just off that, it'll be a game. And if the way the Rams lost last week to the fucking Steelers and Kenny Pickett didn't even throw a fucking touchdown, you got to feel like they're going to come back and at least want to get some revenge. And the way the Cowboys play, you never know which team you're going to get. So that's why I've got that as my number 3 game. What do y'all think about that?
I'm not a big fan of Officer Prescott. We know we talk about this weekly. I do think the Cowboys will win this game, but I think, like to your point, the Rams have been competitive. But overall, I'm not too hyped for this one. Like it's a lot of stinkers this week.
A lot of bad football.
First, we need to look up if Puka Nacua is actually Samoan or just another specific Islander group. I don't want to be disrespectful. Yeah. Unlike this nigga. Samoan, Hawaiian, Portuguese.
Okay. See, I was right.
Close.
I was 25% right.
But
this nigga.
Dallas and LA. First of all, I don't think he's surrounded by trash. I just think he got 2 receivers who are the same in what you call it, Cooper and Nacua. So you don't have a true deep threat. You don't have a true jump ball threat. You got possession receivers. There's only so much you can do with that, brother. Just only so much. You need diversity. It's not like someone like DJ Moore, who is a possession receiver who also can burn you over top. Go up and get it might not be DJ's ultimate strength, but he can do it. And even if you look at it, even as someone like Dallas has someone like CeeDee Lamb who can possession receive and can go over top of you, where Stafford just has the possession only. I need to catch you on a drag route. I need to catch you on a dig and make some moves. So I think that's his biggest struggle. But these games just kind of suck this week.
Yeah, they all suck. Like out of my 5, only number 1 is actually going to be a good game. But number 2 is Patriots.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I want to hear.
I was saying number 2, I had Patriots at Dolphins. And this is the reason. Hold on. I can tell you, Slim Pickens. Okay. But the reason I said that is because of it's a division game. Okay. It's a division game, number 1. Okay. I feel like Bill Belichick, they're coming off a win off the Bills, as smelly as that game was. But the story here to me is why it's must watch. Jalen Ramsey probably going to be returning on Sunday. Now, I know Adam Schefter put that out yesterday, and Jalen Ramsey said that was cap. I think Jalen Ramsey pulled one of those, I don't want this nigga breaking my news type things. And then all of a sudden we going to watch Tom Pelissero come on game day on Sunday like, yeah, Jalen Ramsey's warming up. So I don't think he wanted that news to get out there, but I do expect Jalen Ramsey to play, which is going to help their defense. But I think just off the fact that it's a rivalry game, just off the fact that the Patriots are coming off a win and the Dolphins are coming off a loss to Philadelphia, that this will be something about it to watch. But that's personally all I got. I actually think the Dolphins are going to whoop their ass. But this is off the games of shit that was in front of me that I picked for number 2.
Dolphins by 17.
Dolphins by 25. I don't even know how you get to 25, nigga. It's going to happen. It's going to be a safety up in there somewhere.
Going to be a safety somewhere.
After seeing Mac Jones do the worst gritty of all time, I'm not expecting anything good. It's going to be terrible.
Very racist gritty. A very racist gritty.
It's a Bull Connor gritty.
A Bull Connor gritty. The number 1 game is actually a good game. It is actually the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy.
No Dallas. No Minnesota and Green Bay.
No, man. You know it's gonna be a shit bowl, man.
It's division. They always have good games.
I think Vikings gonna beat the shit out the Packers.
Now I will say I think the Vikings have shaking off the cobwebs, but they pretty much have always had good games. I'm literally looking at Football Database, and last game, the game before, damn, am I may be wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
So the last game before, did they play this year yet?
No, they have not played.
Yeah.
Last year was 41-17. Before that was 23-7, 37-10, 34-31, 20. Okay, so now we're getting into the close game. It just seems like the last 3 would just kind of just blow out.
Beating their ass, yeah. And that was with Aaron Rodgers. And so, what do you think they're gonna do to Jordan Love weak ass?
Now you
Like,
got Jordan Love being Huff.
the Vikings just beat the Niners. Kirk Cousins feeling good. Jordan Addison's looking like a guy. I don't think that's gonna be a game at all.
We knew Jordan Addison was gonna be a guy. But
yeah, we all knew that 100%. But Niners, Bengals, like Brock Purdy. This is the weird thing about the NFL concussions. This nigga was in concussion protocol all week, but now all of a sudden he's practicing today, and now he's listed as questionable for Sunday, but they think he's gonna play. What do y'all think about this game? The Bengals, they're trying to, get back 100% to how they used to be. What do you think about this game? Where you leaning?
I think this was actually a really good game. I think the reports were that Joe Burrow was taking more snaps under center, so maybe that calf is feeling a lot better this week. So he can start looking more like old Joe. The Niners, Christian McCaffrey, he's gonna go. With the concussion thing, I mean, I think this is further proof the NFL players are insane. Like Sidney Crosby got a concussion and set out for a fucking year. Justin Murneau got a concussion and his baseball career was essentially over. So like when these guys get their heads banged around and then come fucking play the next week, and it's kind of insane, G. Like
I wonder if it's like a desensitization thing because you're just you're used to already hitting so hard. You're used to like hockey is full of upper chest hits, especially like when you're checking a person who's coming towards you like that. It's full of that, but I don't see like I'll hit you with the crown of my itty bitty hockey helmet. Like it doesn't happen as often. Whereas when I was in high school, I mean, even when I got snapped off the ball as a lineman, I immediately hit the dude in the head like with my helmet.
Yeah,
so I had to have like a big, a ringer as we call it. I wouldn't be surprised if it was CTE in me when they find out when I'm dead. But when I had to have like a crazy ringer. I had to like a crazy ringer for me to say, "Woo, I got to get out, coach." Because Timmy's just okay. Let's go. Like
I was gonna say my cousin he played linebacker and he played fullback and he told me he said he would hit somebody and then he would have plays where when they called the play like shit was blurry, he just knew to hit the motherfucker in a different color jersey. Like that's just, but like you said, being football players, y'all just go.
What's better than that? Guys being dudes. There's nothing more guys being dudes. Like when I tell women like men are simple and stupid creatures. Now y'all complicated. I'm like, we would do something like that. Like, oh, I can't see nothing. I got you. Like it's stupid. It goes against common sense for you to think, okay, I don't know what's in front of me, but I can see a blob enough. I'm gonna hit it. Like it's stupid. But that's the way men are. That's what we are. What you call it? Scott, if you had the coach music, I say play it right now.
Yeah,
I'm going back to Curry's story.
Go back to Curry today.
Also, shout out to Curry for getting G Herbo at homecoming. I'm sorry, Scott. I'm still blown by this. They got freaking artists coming to homecoming. We didn't get that. Anyway,
no, we didn't.
When I was a kid,
and it was at a club. We had that in that dusty ass gym.
Are you kidding me? But we played at a school called Steinmetz, which I don't think Steinmetz on the north side. I don't know. And this one dude, hey, he pulled off a mean swim move on me. Like for a clean sack against our quarterback. I was like, whoo, that was bad. In the game, we shaking hands. He's like, you're going to be in my highlight tape. I didn't see that team Steinmetz again until the next year. And that next year, I said, I'm going to put this nigga on the highlight reel. Like, I'm going to destroy him. That's all I thought about for a year because he just got one playoff on me. The next year we played them, we did a freaking jet sweep. I cracked back block him, knocked his pads off him, and I concussed myself. But on the sideline, all I could think was, yeah, bitch, I told you I'd get you back. Like, it's insane. It's a wild concuss. Thankfully, we had a bye week, and hopefully I don't got permanent brain damage. But, football is not a safe sport. It never will be. But, yeah, it's guys being dudes. You gotta let men have this. You know what I'm saying?
I'm definitely using this as next week's reel, by the way. And I'm adding the coach music. On there 100%, putting the coach music on there. But I mean, for this game for me, man, I think that this is the game the Bengals are going to win because even if Brock Purdy does play, I don't know how he's going to play. It's not like he's been playing well these last couple weeks anyway. Like he's kind of really reverted back. Wait, what do you mean? Hold on, has he been playing well? He played like shit on Monday.
Yeah, he had a terrible last game, but get off my man Brock Purdy.
He didn't play well in Cleveland either.
People want Brock Purdy to be trash because I think they don't want to realize the fact that he's what you call it? He's Mr. Irrelevant turned into a success.
Yeah.
He has had the game before last against the Broncos was bad. That was a bad game.
Yeah.
It was 0-3. It was terrible. Last game was fine. It was nothing crazy, but it was fine. Week before that, I think he had
like 2 picks against the Vikings.
One. The last game was what you call it?
It was Vikings.
Yeah.
It was on Monday Night Football. Yeah, it was Monday Night Football.
Oh,
that route was shaky though, but I feel you.
Like, it was I knew it was something about that. It was, I don't know. Did he stop in his route? I don't know.
I didn't. He threw 2 picks on Monday. One was a route. The second was all Purdy. The second was all. It was a nasty pick. The game-ending pick.
Okay, that was bad. That
shit was nasty.
The one before that was
he didn't
bad.
play well against Cleveland either. Them 2 games. And I'm not saying I'm off on Purdy.
I will say the game plan with Cleveland was a little weird. There's a lot. He did majority running. Game before that, he's coming off of 4 touchdowns. He was been fine. This is literally these past 2 games are his only interceptions. But I think the only really, really bad play was that game ender when I was like, that was bad. He was trying to make a play, and he didn't account for the linebacker. Was the linebacker, I think, or was it safety being right there? But he's had a great season. He would, if I'm looking at who I think has the best numbers so far in the last, how many weeks is this? Is it 8?
Well, it's the 8th week coming up. This week is week 8.
8th week. So they've played 7 games. I think he's been the best quarterback of the season so far. Of course, he ain't gonna win MVP, but
the bar is in hell right now. But
yeah,
I mean, I agree with that. I mean, what I'm saying is like this week, I want to see him bounce back after the 2 rough games he had, and I think I'm gonna go. Actually, I'm gonna pick the Niners. I think the Niners gonna win in a very close game, just because I believe that their defense can make more plays than the Bengals defense can do, and I think there's gonna be the difference in between this. How do y'all see this game going?
This is gonna be a good game. This is gonna be a really good game. I think I'm gonna go Niners by a field goal. I think it's gonna be a close game.
Is this a 12:00 game? Is that the Bears Sunday night?
Yeah, the Bears are Sunday nights.
The Bears are Sunday night, unfortunately, brother.
Yeah,
the Bears are Sunday nights. This is. I'm looking at it right now. This is a
America. Go be with your family. Don't watch that shit.
This is a 125 game, and so 425 for East Coast. So it's like in a late window, right before Sunday Night Football. Yeah,
that's midday game. Okay, yeah.
I got the Niners. I still got the Niners winning.
I think it's in the Bay Area. Yeah, it's in the Bay Area. So, we're gonna move on and talk about, unfortunately, the Chicago Bears, which is a team that me and my brother cover, a team that Dante is disgusted by. As you can see, this look on his face right now. Justin,
a whole lot of solo shots.
Justin Fields has been officially listed out this Sunday. Tom Pelissero said this week that Justin is aiming to come back against the New Orleans Saints next Sunday. Now, I haven't heard that. My brother hasn't heard that. This is from National, so they could be right. They could be wrong. We have heard nothing of that sort. I still am going to stay on my prediction that he doesn't play to the Carolina game, because I just don't see a reason for him to play 2 games in 5 days with such a short week, with Thursday Night Football being there, so especially against a good defense and the Saints. I don't think they should throw him out there against a good defense, and he's still having trouble palming the ball. Just let him rest these next 2 games, bring him back Thursday Night Football. Then that gives him an additional 10 days to rest. Joe, you have that look on your face. What do you?
I just look at the SAG after has reportedly reached a deal.
Think it's about fucking time. It's about fucking time. But you know why they did that though? Because the studio said yesterday they didn't agree this, and next week they were shutting down negotiations till February.
So you think the writers bent the knee?
No, the writers.
The actors bent the knee. I
won't say that. Man, obviously it had to be a good deal, but I definitely think it was some pressure, because I felt, and this is how you know you're on Barbershop Network, because we get off topic. But I did feel that because with everything from when I used to work at Amazon, is how they shut stuff down after Thanksgiving. So there's gonna be no people ain't even gonna be in the office. So you got the holidays coming up. Yeah, you got the holidays coming up. Shit already tight.
It's gonna be a rough winter.
Right, exactly. So I'm glad they agreed to that. So once I heard that yesterday, I knew there was probably going to be a deal come down in a couple of days. But
like before they started the strike, they should have put it like, give us like a 5-month contract. We're gonna come back after February, because this is a rough time to go on strike.
Yeah. So, but that's good. Shout out to them. But Joe, what do you think about the update from about Justin Fields and with his whole progression?
Yeah, it's like we know the Bears don't share. Period. The Bears don't share without people that have an established relationship with him. There are plenty of people who have been there longer than me on the beat. They don't get any scoops. It's just the way the Bears are. The Bears aren't open like that. National, who knows? They of course have bigger teams behind them, and so they have more access. But I would feel it's in Justin's best interest to not play a game when you have one on Thursday. I'm not even sure come back and playing. I don't even think playing Thursday is even the best move. I feel like it probably might be better for the team for Tyson to continue those 2 games, such as in such a small window. But I know Justin, that clock's moving, and you need to put on a show to prove you can stay there or prove yourself for the next team. So they're in a tough window. But for Justin, I can see why they believe it would be next week for him to return. And if he feels good, do it. Grip strength is interesting because when you're a defensive lineman, you can play with a big old bull in your hand, but if you can't grip that leather football hard enough, it won't matter at all. So I'm kind of tossing back and forth as to whether they should put him in the next game against the New Orleans when you have so many close games coming back to back. And when is the bye week?
The bye week is the week of December 3rd. So
it's eons away. So I want him to do what's in his best interest, and that's both getting healthy, but that's also getting your ass on that field. So he's in a tough position.
Dante, what you think about Justin? Like we think it's a reasonable time for him to come back.
I think I said be super cautious. I think after the bye, I think giving him the 10 days. So
the bye is in December.
Oh no, I'm sorry, not after the bye. I think
after the mini bye,
the mini bye, the little built-in bye, because I think, as you said, if he can't grip the football, then it's gonna do nothing but make him look worse out there, and that's the last thing we need. Because fumbling has already been an issue for him, so I need that hand 100% before he goes back out there. And I mean, at this point, we already know this year they aren't winning anything, even though we did get ambitious. We're talking about wild card, the 9 games, and all of that. But at this point, with them trying to really properly, at least in our opinion, hopefully trying to properly assess what you have with Justin, don't put him back out there until he's officially 100%. So if there's any soreness, any lingering soreness, anything like that, I think just play it safe. And then I think that he shouldn't come back until after the mini bye. That's just me. That's just probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with both of y'all. I think the thing with Justin, I know he's got to be eager to get out there, because not that he should be worried about Tyson Bagent or whatever, anything like that, but I do feel like he knows, if we can see it, and we fans, media can see what's going on, that, he's only got a couple more games in the Bears uniform, maybe. He wants to go out there and put on a good job, not just, either want to convince the Bears to keep him, or if he goes to another team, to make his next team look like, I can still do these things. And taking away like the ridiculous coverage around Bagent, if Bagent is continuing to playing well and being the good backup quarterback you need him to be, and the Bears are trying to win games, there's no point of rushing Justin out there. There's no point of rushing Justin out there against a really good defense in New Orleans. And Joe, you bring up a good point. If you don't want to play him on a short week on that Thursday and just give him the full extra 10 days, I'm with that as well. I think the thing for anything is, if you're Justin, as much as you want to play, you want to be right out there too. You don't want anybody to be blaming you for how you're playing when you're not, I'm not going to say 100%. Nobody's 100%. But if you're not at least physically able to play, you want to be judged on your best medical condition as you can throughout the entire season. So I think if Bagent continues to play as well as he needs to play, there's no point in rushing the kid, man. We still got a lot more football left to be able to see what you want from Justin, if they're truly even looking for that. I don't know. They might be hell bent on not keeping him. I know Caleb Williams at the damn Lakers game last night. Didn't like he gives a shit about what's going on with USC and they little slump right now. But I understand why Justin want to go out there. I just feel like it's in his best interest and the Bears' best interest to just wait until that, number one, you can actually palm the football, and two, till he can actually go out there and perform the best way he needs to. Now, I know that both of you guys said that you have the Bears losing this in a blowout, but I'm going to play devil's advocate real quick. Let's just say the Bears do find a way to win on Sunday. Do you think a win here changes the season? What I mean by changes the season, not as in they're going to make the playoffs or thing like that, but this will be their third win. This will be, they're already with tie last year's wins. And with at least, 8 more games left after this, What do you think where would this take this trajectory, especially if Bagent does play well?
Bagent and nowhere
Bagent,
is
my
where it
fault.
would take it. Nowhere. You're gonna be 3-5 after this. Like, you have to play if you want to even be considered to have a resurgence of the season. You got to win the next 3 games. So you have to get to 3-5. You got to get to 6-5. So you got to win 4 games, actually 5 games in a row. It's not gonna happen. That's too much of an uphill climb, and it's just not gonna happen. So I don't think this win changes anything until you get 4 more wins after that. 4 more wins after, then I say, Bears can shake something. But as of right now, the win does nothing but maybe give you confidence. And then on top of that, I don't want them to win. I don't want them to win. Not because I want to see the Bears lose. I hate seeing the Bears lose. But you see how incompetent the staff is. They don't need another chance. And unfortunately, bad staffs can be elevated by the play and the consistency of the players. It's clear that this group is good with each other, friendly with each other, and have a chemistry with each other. But they could have done so much better if the coaches, the staff behind them did better, and they don't prepare them well enough. So no, I don't want to see them crash and burn, but I'm also sitting like at a rock and a hard place because I'm like, this staff needs to go.
Yeah, I agree, bro. I think, I do want to see them crash and burn. I want the absolute worst. I think whatever can possibly go wrong, I want it to go wrong because I think it's going to take something that dramatic for them to absolutely clean house. And it's unfortunate, but I think Justin is going to be a casualty of that. Like, in a perfect world, he would have showed us a lot. We still get that Carolina pick to be high. We not that good. And we flipped that for King's ransom to really, build this franchise, build this roster out for years with a lot of young, cheap talent. But at this point, I do think, like Scott has said for weeks now, like if they can get their hands on Caleb Williams, that's definitely the route they're going to go. So I think I don't want this staff to luck up and win 6 or 7 games, and because then that'll give them a case for staying. And we know how, okay, this franchise front office is with mediocrity as long as those tickets are selling. So I think we need the absolute worst to happen. I need Bates to go out there and fumble the ball twice and throw 3 picks. Like I need a complete shit show. Like I don't think a win changes anything either way, but I'm not rooting for success.
It's funny though, because I believe Bears fans know deep in their hearts what's actually going on in the delusional fan base, so the delusional mindset that they have. When I was heading into Soldier Field, I'm getting into the elevators, and the press elevator and the club suites are all in the same area. So the folks who got money, be heading up those elevators, and we get in there. It's me and a couple journalists, and the majority of folks are heading to the suites. And one fan is like, "You're about to see something special, Tyson Bagent. It's going to be crazy." And the Bears fan in front of him was like, "I feel something special happen. I absolutely do." Yeah, man, the Bears are snake oil salesman, and I fall for anything they have, so don't listen to what I have to say. And I was like, I'm laughing right now.
I'm glad he admitted that last part.
I was like, it's so true. What is it about the Bears that has enticed fans for so long into giving them second chances? Like, the Bulls have a lot of good history with me because I saw them win 6 titles. But all that good history that we have, it's gone. I don't care anymore. I don't want. I actively avoid the Bulls. So I'm like, all the Bulls. I'm like, I don't care. People put it on. I'm like, turn this off. I don't want to see that. I don't care about them. I literally don't. That being said, do I want them to win? Of course I do. But that goodwill that they bought, I don't care no more. You got to show me that you can run a team successfully. Whereas the Bears, it's like, next year though, like it's insane. It's insanity. But that's why it has to crash and burn consistently until it's built up again. The Lions had to crash, burn.
So many damn times.
So many damn times to get to them be saying, wow, it's a good team. But even then, they still got kinks to work out. And it had to happen with almost every team until you figure out, okay, I can build myself a successful franchise. The Bears have a lot of goodwill with fans for 85 when most young fans were not alive.
Yeah, or if you were alive, nobody on the show is alive.
Or if you were alive, you were an infant.
Yeah.
Like, I can talk to our folks about, oh, man, 85. Oh, 85. Like, they know 85 vividly. That's why when the Bears lose, they go, they move on. I want that. So I don't know how to have goodwill with us.
I mean, for me, I agree with what y'all saying 100%. I'm also just part of it is delusion because it's like I'm just tired of thinking about draft picks. Like I'm tired of it. Like I'm not saying that a win changes anything, but I'm also tired of rooting for my team to lose fucking games. Like I feel like I've been doing that for like 3 goddamn seasons now, and I've had it up to here. But y'all bring up a very important point. It's something why it's like I feel like I'm being forced to go to root for them to lose again because we can't have Matt Eberflus, Luke Getsy, and any of these motherfuckers back again because they ain't got nothing to do with Justin. You're gonna get rid of Justin regardless. You bring Caleb Williams in here, you're gonna. We don't need Caleb Williams be in any room with Luke Getsy. We need them niggas far away from each other as humanly possible if that is the route you decide to go in.
And isn't it depressing? You get Caleb Williams next year, you got to wait 2 more years before it's a success again,
or 3 maybe,
or 3. I'm third. I turned. How old do I turn this year? 33?
You'll be 33, nigga.
I turned 33 this year. So 3 more. I'll be 36, almost 37. I'm tired of that, bro. But that's why I want Justin to be a success, not because he's a Buckeye. And so he always has goodwill with me, but I'm tired. I don't want to go through this anymore. It's not like with Mitchell, I'm like, nothing's there. There's nothing there. There's nothing in that football mind of his. Whereas Justin, I'm like, Justin's a baller. He's just not a football guy. He's not a football guy. He's an incredible athlete, but he don't know how to go out there and play football often enough. But I want him to find that zone because I don't want to go through this again. Because one, you're gonna have to teach Caleb to get under center. Are you kidding me? The dude plays nothing but spread, and now he's gonna have to get under center. That's a no way.
It's a
lot. You know how hard it is for spread quarterbacks to get under center. Working on a complete 3-step, 5-step drop. Oh, you're gonna see him trip, fumble. So like next year, Scott is gonna be us again saying, "All right, let's see what the rookie can do." I'm tired of that. God,
I'm beyond tired of it. I'm fed up to it. Like I'm at the point where I'm going Sunday to fill my game quota and see what that SoFi press spread looks like. That's pretty much where I'm at with it. Predictions of now I know you all said blowouts. By how many points actually do you have this team winning?
17. I got Chargers by 17. Whatever capacity you want to put it. Chargers by 17. It's not going to be relatively close. I think, like people talk about Beijing getting the ball out quick and all of that other shit. So we get to a point where teams are going to sit on that and they're going to have to, he can force him to make a play. And then when he can't do that, then we're fucked. Just like a lot with Mitch, when a lot of times when they would they would make him use the other side of the field and he couldn't fucking do it. So they're going to expose that and the Bears are going to be cooked. So like I said, Chargers by 17.
It's when Mitch first came to the Bears and Mike Glennon was playing before him. People are like, man, I don't know. We should put Mitch in. Mike Glennon's doing fine. I'm like, he's just getting the ball out on predetermined plays. It's boom, 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 boom. Yeah, it's gonna work because that's what he does. When you have to go boom, boom, and you got to start looking at your routes, you got to start diagnosing. That's when he sucks. And I don't know if this is going to be Beijing. I have no clue, and I won't say it will be, but it's going to be that little out route that you were throwing is going to be sat on now. Yeah. So now the throw you're going to have to make is going to have to be God level. You can't do that. Now it's time to look at it's time to diagnose the actual scheme of the defense. And then knowing that you have to play, it's going to be, this ain't D2. This ain't D2. This is a different ball game. Everybody fast. Everybody cold. So if he does well, that's a great sign for him. But it's a different ball game. The ball getting out quick only matters to Huff niggas. It's only matters because it's a basic skill. It's a basic skill, and it's good to have, but you don't do that the majority of the game that you have. The majority of the game, maybe the first couple plays, you're running the predetermined. All right, get the ball out. Boom, boom, run. Then it's time to, all right, now it's actually time for you to make a move. And on a small little game like you have with Tyson, that's cool. But now you're in that second week, you have to do more than that. And I guarantee they're going to be waiting on that. You're going to have Bosa and Mac on both sides. Good luck. Now, if I see my boy Darnell Wright put them niggas on their behinds, then I will be even happier.
I'm gonna say Chargers by 10. I do think it's gonna be a close
35-10, sorry.
35. Jesus. I do think it's going to be a close game. I think Chargers by 10. I do feel like the reason why I think it's going to be close is because the Chargers have a worse run defense than even the Raiders do. So I do think there's going to be a huge emphasis on the run, even more than last week, especially with Roshan being back. So I think you're going to see a lot of Roshan and Foreman in the backfield. But like you said, Joe, it comes down to those little quick gimmies that he was throwing last week. Them shits ain't going to be there this week because they have film. And that's why you can never get too high on when a rookie quarterback or backup quarterback, anybody comes in, they play even halfway decent because there's no film on these niggas. There's not even no college film on this dude. If you say you watched anything when he was in college, you're a fucking liar. So I think if anything, the defensive coordinator for the Chargers is really going. He's been looking at that all week, and they're gonna have a way to shut those little gimmies down, and they're gonna make him actually throw the football when he's gonna actually throw the football. You're gonna get a whole bunch of boy. You look just like your daddy when Asante Samuel taking that shit to the crib multiple times on Sunday. So I think just off that, I feel any and all Bayesian hype that there shouldn't be is gonna die on Sunday. I think it's gonna die a cruel death. Because I do believe they're going to find a way to lock him down. But I do feel like the only way it's going to be close because of the running game the Bears have, and also because the Chargers just do Charger shit sometimes. And it might not have nothing to do with how the Bears actually defend them and just the Chargers doing Charger shit. So I'm going to have the Chargers by 10 this Sunday. Either way, the Bears lose. One last thing. We'll get Joe out
I
of
will
here.
say it's not just because Tyson is Division II that we think he can't do it. There are good players who are in Division II. Adam Thielen was a Division II player. Adam Thielen was a Division II player, and you saw how good he was at his peak. So it's not because he's Division II that I think he cannot do it. But I do think being Division II quarterback and then jumping to the NFL. So, I mean, you're jumping in front of FBS into the NFL. That is a huge, huge jump. That is difficult for anybody to do. I don't think it's necessarily his fault because in high school he was a dog. And in college he was a dog. But it's just a tough hill to climb. I want him to succeed. I want him to win because I cover this team and I grew up with this team. But he has a tough hill to climb. And if I was looking at this like I'm about to bet, I wouldn't bet on him. Not at all. But if he does, it just shows the type of player he are. Unfortunately, a lot of fans, even the players, will see as someone say, I'm not sure, I don't believe, and think, oh, man, it's a slight on the person because you dislike the person or you don't want the person to win. And it couldn't be the farthest from the truth. I want him to. But that's just a tough hill to climb. And it's no longer the scripted plays. You're going to have to get in and actually prove your worth. You're going to have to start doing some touch and some rhythm and some the poise you have. You're going to have to be able to fit balls into windows that are just very, very tight. And I'm not sure. We'll see, though. We'll see for sure.
Yeah, we definitely will see, man. One last very quick topic before we get Joe up out of here. Team meetings after one game with the Chicago Bulls. Team meetings after one fucking game. One fucking game, which I told everybody.
I don't watch the Bulls.
I didn't watch the game either. I was very clear about that because I knew how that game was gonna go. Also, there's a lot of hopeful people in Bulls Twitter. For what reason, I have no fucking idea. But a lot of people were tweeting about it. I'm like, you do know that the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to be a really entertaining and probably a good team this year if they can stay healthy. Chet is back. You know, Shea is one of the most. I think he's underrated because the team is sorry, but he's one of the best young guards in the league. They've got a thing going on there. I was like, there's no way that this game was going to be a good one for the Bulls. If the Bulls go out there to get straight up waxed by 20 because they're still running out there with that same shit lineup they've been running since Lonzo got hurt. And then you're having team meetings after one game. It's going to be a long season, and that's the reason why I have not paid my league pass yet, and I don't plan on paying it for a minute. I'm there.
Yeah.
No, but they changed it. They changed
it. It's only so long they can allow Zach LaVine to be a bitch, bro. Like he is.
Thank you.
Like this guy, he's the prime example of when you pay a guy a slot value based on what you have to pay him. It doesn't always pan out for the team because he's a max guy, but he ain't a max guy. Like this shit is a joke, bro. How many times? I know it's game one, but how many times can we continuously ask, like, well, we're waiting for Zach LaVine to take that leap? What leap is he taking and where is it going to take us? Like, it's time to be fucking serious. Like, they should have traded him. And, like, he signed the offer sheet with Sacramento. He tried to leave again. He don't want to be there. And so they had team meeting these player-only meetings last year, bro. The shit ain't not going to change anything. This year. How many years has this man been in the league?
Oh, this has been 10 now.
I would say it's been at least a decade, right? Like
Really?
Zach LaVine is who he is, bro. Same with DeMar. You see Vooch actually showing passion, being upset because it's like, yo, I'm getting buckets. Now y'all just stop giving me the fucking ball to jack up bricks. Like he was pissed the fuck off, and rightfully so. And like I said that during our preview, it's like the one guy who actually has been consistent with them, Vooch, and he don't get the ball enough. And he don't get the ball enough. They go away from him to let Zach get his shit off. And then it's like, all right, bro. I the Bulls, when I do watch, is borderline unwatchable basketball, bro.
Yeah.
And y'all favorite florist. We're not gonna talk about that shit. But he played tough for 6 fucking minutes and then forgot how to fucking play basketball. So once again, bro, the Bulls are the Bulls. A team meeting day one. I bet you Billy Donovan hit that door like, what the hell?
Like, I can't get in,
bro. Like that's some bullshit. Like that's unfortunate, but.
I would say this.
I
would say this, and this is all I gotta say about them sorry niggas, man. Like Javon Carter and Torrey Craig are good moves if your team is trying to win a championship. Like if you're a team and you're trying to get good bench players, those are good moves. For the Bulls, it don't move the fucking needle because the rest of these niggas are sorry. Like you run a 1998 style of basketball. You have to shoot threes, okay? Like, and nobody on the team except for like 4 niggas can shoot threes. You don't have a point guard. I like Kobe. Kobe had a really good year last year. I think for what Kobe needs you to do, he does. He shoots threes. He scores a lot of points. He's done that last year and a half. He does that. He's not a fucking point guard, okay? He's not your everyday point guard. I don't even have a problem with DeMar. Like, honestly, if there's any signing that happened, and DeMar is doing what DeMar has done for his entire career. Like, DeMar is what you see is what you get with DeMar DeRozan. Vooch, how you gonna get mad? You can't get mad at Vooch. Vooch is doing what they paid him to do. That's exactly who Vooch is. The issue is Arturas Karnisovas and Mark Eversley. As somebody who doubles down a lot, I know hard-headed niggas. Them niggas are hard-headed. They want this thing to work so bad, and I do believe if Lonzo is healthy, this is a completely different ball team because of just what he brings. Not only because of you have a guy who's an actual point guard, he's one of your best defenders, and he's one of your best three-point shooting players. This is a completely different team with Lonzo. But guess what? That nigga's not coming back. It's a wrap. I don't care how many times you sit up there and say, "Oh, I'll be back next year." No, nigga, it's done. It's a wrap. You're toast. So any other general manager who had to worry about getting fired, which isn't a thing with the Rise Global organization, will find a way to actually make a 2023 roster. Billy Donovan left the fucking Oklahoma City Thunder because he didn't want to rebuild again, just for the Oklahoma City Thunder to be better than the Bulls already. And I'm going to close it on that. I have nothing else to say about that team. But Joe, let them know what they can get into. Of course, everybody who knows, they know they get to you. But let them know when they get to you, what they can expect on 7 at the Halas this week.
Follow me at Flo Zandolini, 7 at the Halas. Typically during games when I'm there, I'm the person who is on the handle actually tweeting out. Scott will be the person this Sunday. Yeah, you can catch Scott covering the game. The Bears are gonna lose, and yeah, stay tuned for my page to hear hilarious comments on the game because that's all you're gonna get. I'm gonna enjoy my Sunday.
And a new QB tier next week. New QB tier
for sure.
CSI Cleveland is always funny. But yeah, so we always like talking to you, man. So thank you for joining the show, coming through with Mikey and Bang being on IR.
Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
Definitely. We're going to wrap this episode up. I'm going to give y'all my Goofy Mog of the week coming up here, man. So for my Goofy Mog of the week, man, I'm gonna give this to Mr. Adam Silver. Because of how he handled the situation with Charles Barkley. By the way, shout out to Charles Barkley for an actually good journalistic question that he gave to Adam Silver, asking about the domestic violence things that have been happening in the NBA. And that nigga Adam Silver had no answer whatsoever. You got to be prepared for those things. Now, let's forget the fact that a guy like Miles Bridges shouldn't even be in the league anymore. This shouldn't be a conversation. This shouldn't be something that's been lingering as long as it has been. This guy needs to get the fuck up out of here. There's been other situations too that escape my mind right now, but I've never seen a commissioner be so unprepared for a question like that. It's like he came up to inside the NBA and basically was looking like, oh, this is inside the NBA. I'm not going to get no hard-hitting questions. Let me just go up there. I feel like with the situation that you have with Miles Bridges, you should have at least been prepared to address that. At least fake act like you give a shit. Roger Goodell can fake act like he give a shit every now and then. If there's anything that I give Roger Goodell credit, and sometimes he'll double down on not being shit, but he'll at least make you want to think that he thinks that he gives a shit. This is just completely unpreparedness by Adam Silver, and something that I won't say I expected more from him, but with these kind of topics, I kind of did expect more from him, because I feel, if anything, Adam Silver has been actually great at explaining how the NBA should be moving forward. Now, some of his actions after that might not meet it, but I do feel like for the most part, he has been straight up with what he's trying to do. And I feel like this was a massive slip up for Adam Silver, man. So I'm going to give him Goofy Mog of the Week, man. I just really didn't like how he handled that situation. But shout out to Sir Charles for a really good question that needed to be asked, man. So Goofy Mog of the Week, I'm going to give it to Mr. Adam Silver, man. So that's what I'm going to do with that, man. So that's all we got for y'all today. Once again, I'm going to give y'all the actual announcement again for what's going on. I'm not going to hold you starting on Monday. The Patreon tier is up right now. The $5 I'm not going to hold you Patreon tier. And I've got the list of everything that includes, because I think I missed a couple things when I had the beginning of the show. You will get the full 2-hour version of this show on Monday and Fridays. Now, the show is not going behind a full paywall. We'll be right here live streaming on Monday and Friday next week and going forward. The second hour will be behind the paywall in full. It will be broken up into segments on the YouTube page on both Barber's Chair Network and HNB Media. For subscribers, I will be doing a special weekly Wednesday version. If I'm not going to hold you every Wednesday, be 30 to 45 minutes, be me. I'll be breaking down all the stuff going on midweek in the sports world. You can check that out. There'll be audio podcast versions of every episode that will be strictly available only on the Patreon. It will no longer be on the free Apple and Spotify feeds. If you moving and shaking, if you're at work and you can't watch the video and you want to hear the audio, I suggest you subscribe. The audio versions for all 3 episodes each week will be on this Patreon tier. We're going to have exclusive vlogs. I'm going to be heading to New York in a couple weeks, so you're going to check out everything I'm be doing out there. Probably going to do a special New York version of I'm Not Going to Hold You. You're going to get all that through the Patreon. All the on-field, on-court, post-game recap videos with the Chargers and the Clippers, I'll be putting also up on this Patreon. And then I've got a new interview series. I'm Not Going to Hold You one-on-one. Will be dropping on the Patreon next Tuesday. First episode, we'll have Jonathan Hood from Cap and J Hood Morning Show on ESPN 1000. That will be dropping next week on the Patreon. Of course, individual show segments that you get on YouTube, you'll be getting them first on the Patreon. And when the Barber's Chair Network merchandise store will launch, which we're aiming for January, we will be handing out discount codes to members of that Patreon tier. Now, if you are already a member of the I'm Not Going to Hold You, if you're already a member of the Barber's Chair All Access tier, which is the $10, you're good. You don't have to sign up for anything else because you get everything that's on the Patreon. If you're on Summer Sessions or Saving Out the Halas tier, you might as well just go on Barber's Chair All Access to add that so you can get everything else. But once again, the show is still free. But if you want all the extra shit and if you want stuff earlier, ahead of time, subscribe. Patreon.com/Barber's Chair Network. That will be beginning on this Monday, October 30th, man. So if y'all want to support, it's $5, man. We appreciate everything for all y'all, man. So y'all know to follow me on Twitter at BarberChairScott. You know to follow Barber's Chair Network at BarberChairNet on Twitter and Instagram. You know to follow Dante at October's on Tay. We'll be back next week with the whole crew. Bang and Mikey will be back off IR. For all of you who are looking for Mikey's weekly parlay, he won't be doing a video because he's sick, but he will be sending me in his picks, and we will be tweeting out those picks before the games on Sunday, like always. So you still have your parlay, and you'll still have your player props for Sunday slate of games, man. So, Dante, is there anything you want to say before we get up out of here, man? Anything you want to say?
Negative. I'm good, bro.
So we up out of here, man. Once again, I appreciate everybody for all the birthday wishes. I fuck with all y'all, man. So we gonna holler at y'all next week. We up out.
Getting paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna